Hey guys, nice to meet you.
Hey,
Hello.
nice to meet you. Nice
Yeah,
background.
yeah, I remember seeing Freaks like I don't know 7 years ago, something like that at some genre fest or other. And when I heard you guys were doing Final Destination, I was like, oh wow, okay. I'm not really sure how it's gonna work, but we'll see. Well, it came out great, so
Oh,
congratulations.
good. I'm glad
Thank
it,
you.
I'm glad it worked. Yeah, thank you for watching Freaks. That really was our passion project that really was able to get us in the mix for bigger movies like this and show people what kind of movie we really like to make. And so it was people like yourself seeing that really enabled us to be here.
Well, I don't know if Craig told you, but I'm like the biggest Final Destination fan to the point where I've been bugging Craig for 14 years. Like, when's the next one? When do do another one? And obviously, I'm glad things kind of fell into place. I mean, he mentioned the pitch you did. You did have an elaborate pitch where one of you got beheaded.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I got better.
No, good, good. Is that gonna be? Are we gonna be able to see that someday? Do you think? Do you think that's gonna get out there, or is that just like a?
It was unrecorded and performed live for all the New Line executives and producers and stuff. So unfortunately, it's just one of those things of Hollywood legend that would be whispered in the halls from years to come.
Well, I think that's part of what made it so fun and magical for them because it was such a surprise and it was live. It really gave them the experience of being in a Final Destination movie because they didn't know it was coming, and this Rube Goldberg unfolded behind us as we were talking live, and that really gave it the feeling of reality and magic that the movie has.
Right. And what were your experiences with Final Destination before? It's really interesting talking to people because some people I've talked to a few people who saw Bloodlines who never saw any of the other movies and still work. But what about you guys?
That's
What
great.
was your first movie and
I mean,
how'd
we've
you get
been
into it?
fans since the beginning. I remember seeing the plane crash, in theaters, and being terrified about planes for several years after. But it's great to hear that it works for newcomers too, because that was really important to us. It being 14 years since the last one, we wanted to make sure the movie worked for both types of audiences, for super fans like us, but also for newcomers. And I think what we've always admired about Final Destination and been excited about it as filmmakers is that because there's no personified antagonist, because there's no person in a mask with a knife killing people or monster in the woods, it's all the filmmaking that is death. It's these close-up shots of different objects and the way they're edited in the perfect timing and the music and the sound, that's what comes for the characters. It's really the directorial, Rube Goldberg that comes for the characters. As directors, it's such a delight to have watched the other movies and to now be able to make one.
Yeah, I wonder if Rube Goldberg how he feels about like basically everyone mentioning him as people get killed. Like that.
I
That's
think
like
he would love it. I think he obviously had a great sense of humor about these intricate contraptions that would do a seemingly pointless or abstract thing, and I think the irony of that and delight of that is very present in these movies. We actually tried to do something that none of the other Final Destination movies had done, which was show a live Rube Goldberg, actually see one object hit another object, hit another object, hit another object on camera. And we worked closely with the crew for them for months to kind of set up one of those that they could film over and over again until they got it right.
In the tattoo parlor, yeah.
oh wow, nice, nice. I mean, one of the big differences of this one, it starts out with this period piece, like this big huge thing, which is probably the biggest thing I've seen in any of these movies.
Nice.
And then it goes off, it goes different path. I mean, it's really interesting because I think people who have issues with the Final Destinations, they go, oh, they're all the same. And
Yeah.
you can't say that with this one. This was not all the same.
Great.
It's literally a whole different thing. So I mean, what kind of shape was it in when you guys came on board as far as the
Yeah, I mean
script?
that was always part of the DNA from John's initial story idea, which was really exciting because for super fans, where we counted ourselves as super fans, it was something new. It was when it makes you lean in and makes you go, wait, maybe I don't know where this is going. I hope they're not breaking the canon by doing this. And then you realize, okay, no, this fits within my understanding of the canon. But at the moment of time when it pulls out of Stefanie's eye in the present day, you really go, maybe I don't know where this is going. This is new. This is putting me on the edge of my seat, even though I'm a super fan, just like it does for the newcomers. So that was really, really fun. And we tried to do that for all the kills throughout the whole movie to try to make it as surprising as possible, even for the diehards.
How do you go about casting a Final Destination? I mean, this one has a little different because you have the period piece where you have a whole big huge cast, and then you have the family, which is just a whole other thing. Like, how do you guys like go about doing that? Like, would they just go looking
Yeah.
for people? Because it's not like it's not like you're getting like I don't know. Trying to think of a well-known actor. It's not like Willem Dafoe. Hey, Willem Dafoe
Yeah.
will play the father. It's
Yeah.
not like anything that you. I mean,
Well, I think
but,
anytime you are casting a family, it's extremely challenging because not only do you have to find amazing actors that have chemistry, but they have to make sense as a family. And so we really started with the lead, with our lead actress, Kaitlyn Santajuana, looking for actors all around the world, and we were able to find Kaitlyn. And once we found her, we kind of splintered off to find her siblings and her dad and then his wife, and we kind of build everything else around from all those different kind of relationships that you would have with a family, and then work with them to feel like a family. And so we did a lot of rehearsals where we kind of built all the different kind of unique family dynamics that are present in this family, where they have different grudges and secrets and things like that. And some of them get along really well and some of them do not. And we even improvise scenes that aren't in the movie just so that they had a common shared memory of different things that had happened to this family, so that when you finally see them on screen, it feels like they've all been related for a long time.
do most of the actors know what they're getting in for? Do they know that there's going to be some at least one very grueling scene for them?
Oh yeah,
they're-
and the crazy and also amazing thing with our wonderful cast is that each of them who had a death scene took it incredibly seriously, and they were each really focused on making their death scene the best death scene in the movie. Not that there was a sense of competitiveness, but there was a sense of focus and determination. Each of them wanted to do whatever they had to do to make their death scene the best death scene ever. And, to the point where, for example, Richard Harmon, who plays Eric in the tattoo parlor, he spent a whole week with these rubber things glued into his nose, getting his nose yanked by a chain, dangling over fire. I mean, they really went through a lot. Breck, in the opening sequence, I mean, she was fearless, throwing her body into walls and running through fire, and it was really intense. But all the actors were incredibly fearless, dedicated, athletic, and also, of course, gave beautiful performances.
I think Richard's the real breakout star. I think everyone loves Richard and his character in this movie. And I think he's going to be the guy who someone's going to see this movie and go like, okay, we got to cast him as something like,
I mean, he's
great.
very charming. He's very intense, but also funny. But all of them are. We were so grateful to the whole cast for their amazing performances.
And of course, and Teo's the youngest one. I was surprised. I saw the Fangoria screening last week, and I was surprised that he worked with Devin, first of all, so he had that connection.
Yeah.
But he also had seen some of the movies, even though he's pretty young.
Yeah, I think we were surprised in general. We came into this project assuming that anyone, under the age of 18 now would be unaware of Final Destination, because an 18-year-old now would have been 4 years old when FD5 came out, not even FD1. And we've been shocked the entire time working on the movie. Every teenager I've run into, not only are they familiar with it, they've seen all the kills. They know how it all goes down. They can't wait to see the next one. And like teenagers, I think through YouTube and online have just been eating up all this delicious kind of craziness that this franchise is known for, and are excited for their first chance to see one of these movies in the theater because they've never had that opportunity before.
Oh yeah. We have to talk about Tony Todd, the legend. May he rest in peace. I mean, it's great. It's amazing you got him that scene at the screening I saw it at. There was applause for when he showed up, applause when he left, applause when his name came out of the screen. It's like he is literally like the horror legend. Is like it's he had to be in this movie.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like getting him to I know he was kind of not in good shape health wise either.
Yeah. I mean, we were so grateful to be able to work with him on this. And, there were questions while we were developing the movie if he would be well enough to participate. But he was very excited to be in this movie. He kept, don't write me out of this movie. I've got to do it. And when he came to set, even though he was physically weak and you could see what his illness had done to him physically, he was emotionally very joyful and excited to be there. He was bonding with all the cast. He was cracking jokes. He was really thrilled to bring Bloodworth back for this movie, and to give more backstory to the character, to kind of flesh him out as a whole person. And then when it came time to, say his goodbye in the scene where he's kind of saying goodbye to the characters, we asked him if he would be willing to kind of put aside the script and just speak from the heart. What has all this been about, Tony? What do you want the fans to know? What do you want to leave people with? And the last few lines that are in the movie are just him speaking from the heart directly to the fans what he thinks life is all about. And I think that's why it's so powerful.
Absolutely, absolutely. I was curious about like pushing the gore in this movie. I feel like you did some things in this movie which I was actually surprised got past the studio and
like
the
what?
MPA and everything. Well, you know what I'm talking about. I won't spoil it. But it's interesting. It's interesting because now these Terrifier movies are coming out, and they really like. I mean, they're not rated, so they can go do whatever. But I mean, it feels like now audiences need more and more and more. Were you guys like trying to push it even more?
Yeah,
than...
I mean, I think we got the chance to make a Final Destination movie, and you got to live up to what people buy a ticket for. You got to give the people what they want when it comes to Final Destination. There's all this build up and suspense and misdirects, and when it finally comes to the moment of release, it has to be unlike anything you've seen before. And so we really tried to push the envelope of what the human body can do, and do it in ways where you've never seen that before in any other type of movie. And we never came up against any issues as far as censorship from the studio or any other ratings board or anything. And when we actually put everything we had in the movie and showed it to audiences wanted even more. And so we went back and did some sweeteners to a few of the deaths to kind of up the Splatterfest to an even higher level, and so glad that we did.
Yeah, the only note we got from the studio was from Mike DeLuca, the head of Warner Brothers, who his main note was, guys, just make it gnarly. So, we did.
So if this does well on Monday, I mean, if they say, okay, you know what, you guys could do another movie, because I mean, there's been 6 movies with this one, and 2 directors came back. Would you guys want to do another one? Have you got the thought that like, oh yeah, this is so much fun, we have to?
Yeah, it would be incredibly fun to do it. We put every single idea that we've had in the last 3 years into this movie. Every different anxiety we could possibly imagine has been stuffed into 90 minutes of terror here. It's
105 minutes.
105
right?
minutes. It would be. It's a bit daunting to even think of what those next 105 minutes would be, as far as things that we could ruin for people. But I'm sure either us or another incredible team will figure out a way.